Righto, welcome back to the Mindful Builder, except today, unfortunately for the listeners, Hamish and Matt have lost control of their own podcast. I'm Joel from Heidi Build, and for one episode only, this is now the Mindless Builder. There'll be no blower door tests, no thermal bridges, and most importantly, no one saying building envelope. We are here to find out who Hamish and Matt actually are, whether passive house builders can still be fun at a barbecue, and how two blokes this nerdy somehow built a podcast people actually listen to. So strap yourself in. This could be educational, but I'll do my best to make sure it isn't. This one is for the rest of us builders and tradesmen.
Brilliant.
So just for reference, Hamish has got his Joel's meta glasses on during that. So
I actually had the idea before. I chatted with Joel yesterday. I go, wouldn't it be cool if we all had meta glasses on and we're all just looking at each other without the cameras?
Yeah,
and that would be
It'd be an editing nightmare. But.
It would be absolute editing nightmare.
Righto, boys, we're going to warm up with some rapid fire questions. All right, we're just going to get things moving here. Who's the bigger building science nerd?
Matt.
yeah,
That
I'd
was
probably
convincing.
say,
Yeah, the bigger building science nerd.
Yeah.
Is that because of your science background?
I love data. Numbers make sense to me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You went to university as well.
Yeah, but I didn't do. Yeah,
Hamish has got a very good idea. Like we're both we're talking like minuscule difference here.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what though? Like I think I get all of it at a really, really high level, and I can answer. I could sit down and answer most questions, but do you know where I struggle? I actually forget the numbers.
He'll get into the granular stuff.
The numbers and the granular
I'll go
stuff, like
technical.
yeah.
All right. Who would last longer on a volume build site before having a Menti B?
Matt, I would last longer, I reckon.
I did.
You would last
Yeah.
longer?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Because
Hamish,
I could throw a tool belt around, and I'd actually enjoy throwing frames up.
Yeah.
I'd
You
enjoy the
can-
intensity.
You could let go of all the passive housey stuff
Oh,
a
actually,
little
no.
bit.
So-
Like just if you were framing, could you get in that framing
I
head?
could get in the frame headspace for sure. Because I'd
but
look
could you
at
just
it.
whack it up? Are we talking? So what concept are we talking? Are we?
Volume build.
Oh, wait, like where that's
The
not
opposite
one,
end
that,
to you
but that,
guys.
Yeah, but that's but there's two parts of. So what I've learned to understand about volume build is
He's the more detailed guy.
Yeah,
No,
I'm picking
yeah,
that up
but like
now.
volume build, like as I've learned listening to SBA podcasts, like they have a role, yeah.
Yeah.
Are we talking about what is within their?
This
their
is rapid
brief?
fire, Matt. Rapid fire
Yeah, but
question.
see, just the way he's answering it, definitely you'd last longer on a
Yeah.
volume
No,
build
but
site.
because like, are we talking about just because I know some people that care that their volume builder work and the work they do, but some just don't give two shits and throw what scale are we talking here?
Well, I think maybe just the generic volume builder, stereotypical build, which is just nothing like what you guys do.
Yeah.
That's the point of it.
I reckon I could throw a belt on, and I could like a couple of weeks. I'd actually enjoy the intensity and pace. I don't know about.
Do you reckon you could?
I
You reckon you'd
used
throw-
to love.
throw
I
a
used
tool
to.
belt on
Look, I'd work it out again. I'd be like probably a third year apprentice.
Yeah.
But like if you want me to move fast, I can move fast.
Yeah,
So
okay.
when I was like, we worked.
Do you find
off
that
speed.
cathartic ever, like doing that?
Yeah, I
like-
used to when I was young and fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
didn't enjoy being a carpenter.
Who'd be the first one to mention thermal bridge in a pub conversation?
Probably Matt.
No, I reckon that's
I reckon
reckon
because I just give you the numbers. The
Yeah,
sign
actually,
numbers.
maybe. Do you know what?
Like you said, big idea.
So do you know what? I was actually at the pub the other day with some buddies of mine, and one's a builder, one's he's a camp coordinator, and I was actually looking at one of the aluminium windows, and it was cold at night. So I'm like, that's probably got condensation on it.
He's got,
I was thinking in my brain,
you know the frozen Carlton beer draft?
Yeah.
It's like he's like talking about how that's condensating because the dew point from inside out.
let me explain to you what
you just can't turn it off. It's like when a
chip.
chippy sees a miter that's slightly off. Oh, that's annoying. That would probably
That'd
get you
bug
as
me,
well.
yeah.
Who's
Just
more
like your
likely to
just like
ruin a
your
barbecue by over-explaining ventilation?
I reckon neither because we don't explain it.
No?
I actually don't.
Does it happen at barbecues and stuff for you guys? Do people
it's
like doctors, when doctors go to a barbecue, they're like, oh, because I've got this sore in my foot. You know, like...
Do you know what? I think that I'm a lot better these days of reading a room.
Yeah.
I think if you had have got me 5 or 10 years ago, you know when I used to do CrossFit, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was telling everyone about fucking CrossFit.
I think that's the prerequisite.
And then I realised not many people gave a fuck about it.
Yeah.
And then I think my lessons from that are not everyone cares about the type of buildings that I build.
But I think that's the reason why we build them and we get such high hit rate of people wanting to build the way we do is because we don't talk about it. And I think we don't because the hardest part of trying to get your first passive house or better built house is people want to talk too much detail and that's not what clients want to hear.
Yeah.
They just want to hear
Goes
fresh filtered
over their
into
head.
air. Bang,
Yeah.
done.
Yep. Yeah,
Well,
okay.
we can solve that problem. All right,
Yeah.
next job sort of thing.
All right, so I'm safe to invite both of you to a barbecue then.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, all right, sweet.
I
We're
don't
good.
drink, but
Is Andre going to be
all
there?
right.
We can talk
Yeah, Andre will be
conversation on the
there.
windows
Yeah,
and
yeah,
thermal
great.
bridging.
Andre gets upset if I have a barbecue and he's not there. So, now this one's got me stumped. Who's the bigger tight ass?
I don't know.
in which context?
Yeah, that's a hard one because I don't know.
With money.
Yeah, but in what context?
Not like physically.
Because I'll spend money on, like, I'll spend money on stuff which other people may not spend money on.
Yeah, it's
But
what
then-
Like,
but then
an excavator.
I couldn't
Yeah,
give two shits,
yeah.
but I wouldn't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, but the thing is, I wouldn't go and spend money on clothes because I'm
Yeah.
like, I got 20 Sanctum Homes t-shirts in the
Yeah,
cupboard.
yeah.
Why don't I just wear
But
them?
I,
every
yeah, I
day?
wouldn't.
What about at work? Like, who do you think, which out of you two, who runs like a tighter shit
I
from a
hope
financial perspective?
Hamish, and I hope in a year that is me.
I feel like I'm not as tight as I need to be though. I
No,
reckon I'm getting better.
You tight as ship. I don't.
I think I'm getting better.
I'm working on my financials and knowing them
I
back
think
to
I'm
front.
getting better.
Okay.
So in a year, I hope if you ask me that question again, I can be like, yes, that's me.
So, because you're quite sciencey,
Yeah.
but it's not translated to the
It's in my
to
head.
the financial reporting.
No, it's all here.
Yeah.
I need to look at it here.
Yeah.
It's on my brain, and so now I'm working on models to understand it. And again, gone way too far.
This is supposed to be rapid fire, but I'm actually quite curious about that because I reckon I really got that wrong. Like, I would have thought, like, from a financial perspective, like, just your general, just interacting with you generally, I would have thought you'd have been like fucking
I
all
know
across
it.
it.
I can have the conversation, but not to what I think is adequate enough for a small business.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think it's the most important thing that I've negated for years.
It's the most important thing that I think both of us aren't doing.
Yeah.
Well,
and
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I think like again, we can build a house. We know, like, my cost tracking has been non-existent on projects for years, but I know it's been profitable.
Yeah.
Like I know you shouldn't just look at a P&L at the end and see what your net is and take that as that's what's you made.
Yeah.
But like I need to now, like I'm starting to get my head around monthly WIPs and cash flow forecasts and budgeting forecasts.
WIP's
and
important
24
as a builder.
Yeah, I think both of us have realised in the last 12 to 18 months our, cup half full attitude, ADHD kind of energy can only get you so far.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of builders realise that. I mean, you probably realise that at some point as well.
this is where AI's helped me.
My, I would say the three of us operate a lot on our gut feel, and
Yeah.
I'd say 80% of the time it's right.
Yep.
So you'd bet on that most times.
Yep.
But I kind of feel like it's that 20% that they're unsure of. That's probably the difference between me having a really successful business versus just a good business.
Yeah, okay.
And that's my focus now.
Yeah.
And I know you're the same.
Yeah, well, I know this. Hopefully, in the next 24 months, I really scale to where I want to be. But I can't do that without not knowing my numbers back to front.
Yeah.
So I made a decision early this year that I was going to turn myself into like a CFO of my own business.
Yep.
Like corporate stupid talk, but ultimately it was to make sure that I knew the financials. And I've gone and learned building science back to front. I've gone and learned marketing back to front. So I know I can do it. I just need to put time and effort into it and champion it. So that's become my focus for the next. That's it. And this is why I say AI is really helpful. Not creating models and stuff. I know you can do that, but it's a really good learning platform to be like, hey, I don't understand how a WIP works. What is it? Can you talk it down?
it can
in
explain
layman's
you
terms?
WIP as a builder.
Yeah, can you
And
just
I-
start talking in as if you're talking to like a 15-year-old?
This is good because it actually makes you guys more normal builders because otherwise the rest of us kind of see you as this different
we're
sort of
not.
level. But that's a normal builder thing that you guys are doing
Yeah.
is probably not where you think you ought to be with your understanding
We
of your
speak
numbers.
about it.
So I'd say that I'm actually pretty good with my numbers.
Yeah.
Just the way my brain works, like accounting has always made sense to me.
Yeah.
And I've always been interested in P&Ls and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I could never make my P&Ls and my balance sheets and everything make fucking sense when I was a builder. I was like, and every time I did, I'm like, this is such a bad business.
Yeah,
So, but
it is.
now as a trade, it's so much easier.
Yeah, okay.
I find it heaps easier because WIP fucks you up.
So let
WIP
me.
messes with your reporting.
Can I actually ask you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you might have $500,000 in the bank at June 30, and then your accountant might go, "Oh, look at all the money you've made," and then next week it might all go back out the door again.
That's why you need to account for WIP.
yeah, absolutely. And then what's your cash in advance position?
And
like
for
all
the
those-
other builders and tradesmen out there that don't know what WIP is, it's work in progress. So basically, it's stuff that you might have to do like in the future, right?
Yeah,
It's
Like,
left over. You haven't. Yeah. Have you got too much money in the door but there's more expenses to come out than what you've already that you can charge for.
Yeah, and I seriously recommend any builder like go on ChatGPT, ask it about WIP.
Yep.
Like,
There's a
and
really-
it's not WHIP, it's work in progress.
So there's a
WIP.
really good webinar online from these accountants in Queensland. They do a monthly webinar, and they did one on WIP. They've done a few of them, and that's where I started. And then just learn one thing at a time. Don't overcomplicate it. If you don't spend your time on AI, spend your time on this shit.
You said a really interesting thing before. Can I just touch on it? You are a licensed builder and have been a builder where you've built lots of homes, but you just said now you're a tradesman.
Yeah.
Or a tradesperson.
Yeah.
So
that's
you're-
my business now.
Yeah, right,
I
okay.
don't work as the head contractor anymore. I work for other builders.
Do you need your license at all? Could you just get rid of it?
I could, but I've got, say, Curran Borough that I'm going to build.
Yeah.
I've got.
I can't wait to be invited.
Is
up
that
there,
is
by
that
the way.
your
That'll
house?
be sick. Yeah. We're gonna build it. We're not sure whether we're gonna keep it long term or what we're gonna do. It's kind of the financial situation is going to depend on what we do there.
How much land do you have there?
Just 6 acres.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it's enough. Oh, like as in like.
Curran-
we call,
yeah, but-
we
yeah, but
call
Curran-
it a farm, but it's not a farm.
Curran Borough though, like is like,
It's 6 acres is nothing.
Like 6 acres
Would
is
you build
like
a passive house
dot.
out of interest?
Would I build a passive house there? No.
Why not?
I can't afford it.
I
I can barely afford to build a fucking house. Like I'm doing it as cheap as I can, and honestly, man, I just don't think it's going to get me the value back if I do need to sell it. I'm not in
But
that
you're gonna put
position
good quality
financially where I can kind of lean into that. I did build a house in the past where I lent into it and stuff, and it worked and everything, but I'm just not there anymore.
you're starting. You've almost started again.
Yeah, so we're just like, look, if we can do this, let's just do it. And I actually want to be like, hey, can I build a good quality, cheap house?
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I'm going to try
Will you
to
build
do.
it yourself though? Yeah, with your team.
Yeah, so I was going to get a builder, but I really tried speaking to a few guys, and I guess it just didn't kind of take off, and maybe it wasn't feeling right for me, so it didn't happen.
Yeah. Okay.
We're going to keep going because we've got other stuff to talk about. But who has the more cooked client story, and do you have the balls to share it?
I've spoken about mine once.
I've spoken about mine as well.
Yeah?
I've had a couple. You go.
Yeah. I had the one. I had the one that I've spoken about. I just lost control of them during COVID. Actually, and it got to a point where I walked in on their job site during COVID, and there was a bag of Coke on the ground that they'd been partying on the weekend. Empty bag. I also had a client that when I was, I wasn't actually my own business. They were a spoilt little arsehole, and when they didn't get their way, they would sort of damage things on the site until.
Jesus Christ. Well, see, on both of those stories, I don't know if people realise, like, you possess that site. That's your site.
Yeah, no, and that's why I lost control of it. But now I vet my clients. Like, whilst the client would decide they work with us, we also pick them now too. So, like, I've gone through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about mine recently. So we were up in a project in the hills, in the Dandenongs, and there was a reno extension. We started the project, did demo. There was a long weekend that came, and we came back on the Tuesday, and the clients had moved in on site, set up these ramshackled, like they moved into a bus on site. The kids were in this sort of like they ended up camping on site for the duration of the build.
What a nightmare.
And at the time, I'm like, I really wanted this job. I was probably recently licensed, and I'm like, oh, this is a cool job. This is what I want to be doing. Kind of just let it go. And as you can imagine, it just turned to shit.
Yeah, man. Oh, I swear to God, if there's one piece of advice I give new builders, is just don't be too keen to do your first fucking job. They're going to own you for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they all do it. We all did it.
I have a goal.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
Look, and look, I reckon, I don't want to poo-poo the clients too much, but I allowed that to happen.
Yeah.
That's all on me.
A lot
That is all
of
on me.
issues that builders deal with is what they allow to happen. So
that's
you're a
on me.
head contractor
That's
for a
on me.
reason.
So I tell to anyone, if there's a problem, look at yourself first. So usually I will always blame myself first, then I'll blame my team.
Yeah.
I will not, like, the last resort is the architect
I
or
wouldn't even
client.
blame your team. Like you
No,
said,
because like it's a natural step. I'll blame us first.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
then
yeah.
the
It's like,
team,
look
us,
internally.
internally,
Yeah.
and then I will then. It's then. If
I agree with that because it's like, and look, only worry about what you can control, right?
100%.
All right. So, Matt, in your bio, you say you're like not the best chippy on the tools. Whose idea was it to publish that? Because it's obviously super honest, but it's also, I feel like it's terrible marketing.
But I'm not.
But you own it.
Yeah, but you're not getting me on the tools.
Yeah.
Like, do you work on the tools on your jobs all the time?
Not much anymore,
Yeah,
but that's kind of how I pitch myself.
That's-
like I enjoy it.
So I put like put people good in their positions around you. So I put amazing carpenters that are better at what they do than I do.
So you don't identify as a carpenter as so much anymore. But
I
feel
was
like
never
you do.
passionate about carpentry. I was a means of getting to where I wanted to be a builder.
Means to an end.
Yeah.
Which is not.
I love it.
Yeah.
But I love trades, so
putting
I'm
together.
passionate about trades. Like
Okay.
dad's an electrician, brother's a plumber.
Yeah.
Like so, trades run in the family. So I'm more as a trades passionate about, as we spoke about earlier today, lifting that floor up to start championing trades and we celebrate when kids go to university to finish a degree. Let's celebrate when they finish an apprenticeship.
Yeah, agreed.
Why do you think
Alright.
it's bad marketing?
Oh, I don't know. Like, because it's just I identify as a carpenter, and I think as a builder, like the ideal builder is like the carpenter builder, and it's not that it's like bad marketing, but it's like you're a carpenter, you've got that trade background, and you kind of own the fact that he always says like I'm terrible. I was a terrible.
I understand
carpenter.
it. I could sit and talk to anyone and tell you how to do it. I just can't do it myself.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. So did you guys? We're going to talk a little bit about your origins. All right.
Yeah.
Did you guys meet on a webinar, or was it one of those sustainable builder arranged marriage deals?
No, I think Matt slid into my DMs.
Slid into the
Yeah,
DMs.
slid in.
Mr. Slick.
Came over
It was
one night.
during COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
right.
chatting.
Yeah.
Was it?
I think I got my first passive house and you were doing one. I just asked you a few questions and just did this.
So you were the first in Passive House.
Oh no, I think we both got our. I think I got the first one on site.
Yeah, I think you were like maybe a month ahead, but you just got your windows and you just installed your windows. I remember it. And I
Yeah.
got my windows. I'm like, how did you do this detail?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think we both got our passive house tradesperson certificate,
Yeah.
whatever that fucking means.
Yeah.
At a very similar time, like 17 or 18.
Okay.
But I do remember talking to you at one point saying I'm still trying to decide whether or not I want to pivot my whole business. And I think at the time I'm like, no, this is what I want to do. So then I think I'm talking within months of each other.
Yeah.
So you guys, and that's probably how it all started for you both, because you're on the Passive House side of things.
I think so.
I think then what you also respect is when we did that course, social media or anything, there was no other information on building better whatsoever. So that was the only thing that you could learn to learn better. So when you do the course and you spend 7 days, you drink the Kool-Aid because you're like, well, there's another way of doing something. Now, social media, you can log on and look up subfloor and find a better way of doing it instantly.
But I think the other thing that probably brought us together is that we, at the same time, independent of each other, just really started sharing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we just started flogging on social media that this is what we were doing, and then I think it's all just...
That's kind of like how it sort of started with me and Hoppo being mates and stuff, is like that social media thing. You sort of end up connecting on there, right?
Like we don't like. I've actually ironically I probably started to gatekeep a little bit more recently, not from say the group that we hang out with, but more from a wider thing, because like I don't know. Sometimes I feel that people just want, like I've got some guy in my inbox right now who's wants every second detailed for him. I'm like, dude, go do your job.
Yeah.
Like I don't work for you.
Yeah.
I won't go about like sketching up a design or something. I'll jump on and leave a voice note. That's it.
Yeah. I'm the same. I've given you the answers. Or my pet hate, and I fucking hate this, is when I tell them how to do something. Here's the video. Then they go do it completely different and then go, oh, well, how do I fix it now? I'm like, I literally gave you the answer.
You're an asshole.
I actually gave you the answer on what you're after, but you try to be too smart.
Yeah. So, but it's really because you guys you were sharing things on social media. So you I feel like you guys are championing the movement a bit.
Yeah, I feel like we were probably some of the... I mean, Devon, who's here.
Yeah.
He...
Before us.
Well before us, like years before us.
Yeah.
Same with Justin
But
O'Connor.
it sort of takes the guys doing it. Like these guys are selling products, and
But
obviously
we
there's
were just
science
loud.
in the
Yeah,
business.
we were just louder, I think. Just louder. Yep.
Yeah. I think though, like, and I think, I guess with the DeWalt thing, if you're selling a product, people immediately go, oh yeah, but that's your motive. Whereas for you guys, that's like not a motive.
No.
Like, it's like you're just being yourselves.
Yeah.
You really care about, passive house building. But have you ever thought like, fuck, why can't I just do normal builds? Or have you ever thought about going and doing a normal build? Does it get, I'm sure it gets dropped on you.
I'd make more money, I reckon. It'd be easier. I just think that I know, like if I think about the risk profile of how we did things in the past and how we're doing things now, then it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And purely from a building fabric point of view. Forget about ventilation. Forget about your windows. Forget about your thermal bridges. Forget about that shit. And I'm not giving them a plug, but maybe I am. The cheapest insurance policy that you've got.
I reckon ventilation's not too far if considering the code changes as well.
But okay, I'm just trying not to kind of sit on the whole passive house thing. But for me, it's
reliability.
Reliability, yeah.
That's
why
that's probably a big thing. Is like the 10-year warranty. Like people need to understand. Builders we're always thinking about. Fuck that house I just built. Oh, it's fucking pissing down. Which is one of these roofs that that we did on a 2-degree pitch. Like
Mate,
but you guys don't have that thing because everything's sealed.
Yeah. I've got 4 past projects at the moment that I'm working through where there's some kind of water something, and they're well before we started doing the passive house stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know if we did the same thing now, it wouldn't be an issue.
Wouldn't have the problem.
And now we're working through it, and there's some that was client's fault, some was our fault, some trades faults. We're just getting in there and getting it sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing is like what is normal building, but ultimately like I sought out passive house originally as a de-risking profile for if I want to be a builder and I'm signing off on something for 10 years. I don't want to be coming back all the time at a minimum standard because ultimately I'm the one that pays for it.
Yeah. I couldn't build a code builder.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
I know too much about the risks associated with it.
And when you know too much in a legal sense, if anything's happened, they'd be like, you know better.
Yeah, you know better. That's a big thing as a builder. Like you know better.
Yeah, you know. But even if it was to code, you knew better and you didn't do it.
Yeah. Okay.
So we got no turning back now.
Yeah.
What was it like apprenticeship wise? Like what were you exposed to as apprentices?
The opposite. Renovations. But
like just code. Like small builder, you did an apprenticeship.
Yeah, just minimum code stuff. But yes, like good jobs.
It's still good. Like
No, they were awesome. They do great work.
I actually am not a qualified carpenter. I was just jumped into it, and carpentry made sense to me. So I'd picked it up really easily. But I spent a lot of time doing decks and pergolas.
Oh yeah.
But I pitched a lot of roofs doing that.
Right. Yeah.
So I could still jump in now and pitch a roof, no problem.
Yep.
Did a lot of renos extensions, and then I did about 2 years doing like factory fit outs and a bit of commercial stuff. So I've got this broad spectrum of skills that I can draw on, which has allowed me to be able to problem solve.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Like it's I think so. There was no real like passive house thing like back when you were apprentices and stuff.
I looked as well future, like what is actually housing going to look like. People are going to want sustainability, whatever that meant at the time.
Yeah.
And this just fit the bill. So I was also looking future, securing my
I wasn't anywhere near as calculated as that. I'm a sustainable builder, and it didn't mean anything. I had no context around it. Okay. I'm like, and then when I found passive house, it actually allowed me to actually put it against something because it was so measurable. Prescriptive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, this kind of fits the narrative that I'm giving about, sustainability, energy consumption, health and all that stuff. It was just a nice way to put a bow around it.
Yeah. I knew this was going to happen, but we're going to have to go off this because what you guys are talking about as like sustainability, passive house, do you find like people are really interested in it and they're like drinking the Kool-Aid until they see the quote?
I just don't talk about it. So there's a number of let's start here with the cost conversation because what are you comparing it to? Are you comparing it to the architectural jobs that you used to do?
Yeah.
Because I would argue that they're going to be very, very similar.
Yeah.
If you're going to compare it to a volume builder, code built house, well, we're not comparing apples and apples.
Yeah.
So let's talk actual numbers. The last architectural house I did was about 56 grand for a square.
$56,000 per square.
What's that convert to square meterage? That's divided by 9.
5 odd grand.
That's pretty low at the moment. Look, well, that actually.
This was years ago.
Per old school square.
Yeah, old school square. Yeah, okay. Sorry, so five.
Is it 9? Is that
9?
5 and a
bit?
5 and a bit.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
That was a long time
ago.
So it's probably equivalent of about 7.5 or 8.
Oh yes, which is what we would be building almost now.
Yeah. So I know our homes. We could.
I still think was crazy. Expensive.
We could scratch it through. I reckon at 6.5 now. But I reckon it's more like 7.5.
But that's a new build. Like a renovation extension is going to be
more expensive.
Yeah.
More expensive,
well,
right?
and again, I guess it depends. It depends.
Like the site, I think the cost one's an interesting one.
I just think it's fucking expensive to build.
It is now.
I just think that we see so many people wanting, and I'll people won't like this comment, but we got to help those who can't afford to build, blah, 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 blah. Ultimately, aren't we all trying to, like, these are architects, builders, consultants, we're all saying that, but we go still build $1 million to $2 million house because they can afford it. Like, no one's spending their time helping the people that can't afford it because they don't pay the bills. And building is now expensive. Like, period. Like, we live in an economy in a world right now where there's a war and shit is expensive everywhere. You go to the supermarket, you go to fill up the car, you want to buy anything, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not building.
Yeah.
Like, what does a car cost you? You know, cars back to front compared to what they used to be 10 years ago.
Shitloads.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So we don't complain about a car or a
like,
fucking pen, like $10 or a pen. Like, that used to be 50 cents.
Yeah.
We don't
I've
complain
got a
about
Hilux for sale, by the way, if you want to.
No, do you?
Team, yeah.
Don't
But
do this to me. I'm
building-
a sucker for a Hilux.
Building is an easy sell and easy immediate
2023,
clickbait.
49,000K.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah. I'll just keep whispering.
Carla's like,
$28,000.
Get me back to my preheated car.
let's talk about cars, Carla.
Comes with free stickers.
All right. What's the most unpassive house thing about? Because you've got a pretty nice. Both of you have nice houses that you've both renovated.
I have now.
I don't anymore.
I've got
You
a
sold
new
I've,
yours?
I've moved, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You can watch mine on Grand Designs, can't you?
Yeah, Matt's been a great
Yeah. I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
So what's the most unpassive house thing about you at the moment? So like, what's a non-passive house?
The one thing that I bang on at the moment is we got a full water filtration system in the house to filter out all the water, so it's like clean water when you drink it. One, when you shower, like there's no shit on the screen anymore, so it's like crystal clear every time. Two, it's going to extend the longevity of my taps and fittings and fixtures. And three, like I thought drinking like water from a filter would be like, what a wank, it sucks, stupid. I hate drinking other water now. So that is the most non-passive housey thing.
Why is it non-passive house? I
think
feel
it's
like that
very
is passive
No,
house.
isn't it? That's not got nothing to do with the
This guy cannot consume power if he like that's
That's got nothing
not,
to do with the power, the performance of a home though. That's the
I'm talking about like, do you go to Calder Park drags? I mean, I know you don't.
Ask me,
but
ask
like,
me, ask
yeah,
me.
go on.
Yeah,
What's
so-
your unpassive house thing?
I love driving my 300 series Land Cruiser.
Yes.
I think
And I love burning a wood fire in my house.
Yeah, I like wood fires.
So
too.
wood fires,
Sorry,
Yeah.
Cam. Sorry, Cam.
do a lot of passive houses have wood fires in
no,
it?
don't need it.
You don't
Or
need
it's
it.
not a thing.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
What if someone wants it? Would you build it for them?
Do you want to go? How
Or is
technical are we allowed to go now?
Or is it
Yeah,
not too
okay.
technical?
So
Because
it's
I'll zone out.
No, so there's two reasons. One, you're airtight, so you got to bring in air to light the fire, so
To keep
oxygen.
it moving.
So it's got to have a dedicated vent. It's
Yeah.
got to have dedicated
Otherwise,
airflow.
it'll pull the oxygen.
Well,
from
it just
the
won't
room.
light.
It's just
It
yeah,
won't
it's
light.
two. The other question I'll ask is like, and
It'll overheat. It'll
we look at a
overheat too.
health aspect of just human health right now, and the healthcare bill that we in a state like Victoria is through the roof, and we can't maintain it. Yet we decrease doctors and nurses, which we need more of. The burden of asthma and burning fires is a huge. It's a huge burden on our healthcare system right now. And
Really?
the thing is, yeah.
Don't stop judging me, man.
No. It's
I
fine because
love my fire.
fucking, it was the biggest thing that I didn't
I've
want to
got
give
like
up.
4 fireplaces.
It's one thing that I didn't want to, like, for years, this is the part I hated about passive house, and it was mentally, I've given up on it, not because I don't like it, it's because it's the part that, how do I even speak about this? Like, it's, so when you burn a wood fire, it doesn't affect you. It affects everyone else around you because it blows everywhere.
Yeah, so I think it's all within context though.
Yeah.
So I live on a couple of acres, my back onto a state park. I live, there's a fireplace down there, there's a fireplace down there. Like
So you just have them outside though now.
well, I mean, I've got a fireplace in my old 1970s home, which I really enjoy the heat. Now, if a client said to me, "Hey, I want to put a wood fire," and I'd be like, "Well, no, you can't,
Yeah.
because it's airtight. Your house is going to overcook. I'm respecting your neighbours there, which is like 10, 20 metres away. Like I think it's got to all be within context.
Yeah, right. So you have a fireplace in your house. Your house is not currently unrenovated.
It is unrenovated.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you're going to renovate.
I'm going to renovate it. Yeah.
Passive house standards.
Probably. Yeah.
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 So
And
mine is,
Carlin,
I live in a certified passive house, but mine's on environmental reasons. So I care about sustainability, but not as much as you probably think. I care what makes sense. So durability and longevity makes sense, the home. I don't want to keep maintaining it. 2, it's cheaper to be all electric. Like 3, I want good indoor air quality. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't, like materials and that, making it healthy is a bit of a test and fun and play around. But ultimately, like, I look at it as a common sense approach, not sustainability. The byproduct that I have is sustainability.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, that makes sense. But so there's still nothing unpassive house about this guy.
No, it's not like...
There needs to be something.
Yeah, what else?
No.
I mean,
You're talking to a guy that's got like a
travel, I
6.9
don't
litre carbied car that he drives on the weekend. I need something here.
I drive a Mazda BT50, is my other car.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
that's unpassive house.
That's cute.
Yeah.
So to give you statistics, here we
Diesel.
go. Because I'll throw this one for you because I like numbers. So 4.1% of Melbourne households use of wood fire, and it is generates 50% of the air pollution. So only 4% of houses burn at
100% of the fucking ambience, though. You know what I mean?
If the question is who's more less passive house, it'd be me.
It'd be
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think sometimes that some of the stuff, like I fucking couldn't give two shits about recycling. I just don't find it interesting.
Oh, there we go.
See, I do.
That's very unpassive house.
So I just don't care for it. Like,
Really?
I just can't.
So what, do you just like throw rubbish in the recycling bin?
I try my
Whereas
best.
I agonise over it.
Yeah.
I
Don't
really.
you guys have the bins?
Yeah, I have all that.
with
Yeah,
the,
on site and
Canadian
stuff.
recyclable,
I'm
yeah.
worse at home. I just don't give a fuck sometimes.
Yeah. So
Like-
you're better on your jobs with it. Wouldn't your clients would surely demand?
It's actually cheaper to recycle sometimes. So it's,
Yeah.
Now,
Again, makes
whereas for
sense.
me, that's important. Like I've got lengths of timber. In fact, one of my guys sent me something on the weekend. You know that guy on social media who does all those funny kind of dad reels, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that little bit of weatherboard's going to come in handy late."
Oh yeah.
I'm like that. I'm that guy.
Yeah,
I've got
okay.
like piles of little offcuts of
I'll
shorts
use one day sort of thing.
for boxing for a slab. I'm like, I reckon I'll use that on my barn slab.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I collect a fair bit of shorts for boxing, and then I just throw them out. I just move them around 4 times before I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I don't care for the use of foam. Like, I've got a whole job of putting a ton of foam in. Like, at the end of the day, if I can increase the performance of a house at the cost of like using petroleum-based product, I'll take the
easy win sort of thing.
I'll take the cheaper option to make the client a healthier, comfortable home.
Yeah, okay.
So
You
I think
seem very passive house still. though. It's very
material
passive house
choice, I
coming
don't
out.
really care as long as it makes sense.
Are you a bogan though? Do you have any bogan traits?
Stupidly still play football.
Do ya?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Bogan would not be what I think about
Nah.
when I think
No,
about
but that's
it.
why I'm like, there's got to be something. I've
Nah.
got to give something to the
Nah.
tradies, to the guys
Yeah,
that are.
okay.
We're trying to get
I'm
the
a bit-
rest of the building industry to.
I'm a bit more like, because like obviously I've got a podcasting company. Like I can have very inappropriate jokes at times, but they will be shared between people that I trust. I'm not going to put that out there.
But you
yeah.
still play footy.
Stupidly, yeah.
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 How's it go on the body nowadays?
Fucked. I
He's
do my
always
calf
injured.
and hammy every second week.
He's always injured. Soft tissues. You're almost in your 40s. Soft tissues.
I broke my ankle like bone last year and then fucked it again.
And now you're back in footy
Still play.
again.
I've got no PCL left. I've got metal all through my arm still from breaking bones.
So there's a bit of dumb tradie in there.
It's a little bit of dumb.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Now we're talking.
I've
He's
been
doing
around
his
a
best to derail my podcast.
I've been, put it this way, I've been
and
around a
fucking
footy club
educate people.
since the age of like 8.
Yeah.
All through seniors when I can the other side, yes, you
Massive
get it
on footy. All right. Do you guys judge us normal builders?
No.
No.
You got to everyone like you start somewhere. Everyone start. We were level 1.
But
at
you
one
see
point.
what you guys do as the destination.
No, okay.
No.
So I'll talk from my side, right? So as a business, we choose to build a certain way.
Yeah.
Sustainable Builders Alliance, my goal would be that every single builder in Australia just build a little bit better.
Yeah.
Whatever that is on that spectrum.
Yeah.
Because if me and Matt building 4 or 5 passive houses a year means nothing unless all of these other builders throughout Australia aren't getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
Now, for me, it's not about like throw sustainability out the door, like throw, I don't know, recycling, performance, all that. Just throw all that out.
Carbon.
Just build better. Just build a little bit better.
Reliability.
Reliable home.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's something I,
think
don't care about carbon. Like I don't understand it well enough, but I just don't care about carbon stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's something that gets thrown around. But
Yeah.
like, okay, so what you guys are doing, like say with I think when people think about passive house, they think about membranes and wraps and stuff. And I would argue that the standard of wraps, building wraps has increased. You still get
Absolutely.
the old
Yeah,
oil
for
shit
sure,
that
yeah.
you see sometimes,
Yeah.
but generally speaking, most of us won't use it now, especially
Yeah.
small builders. Like
Yeah.
you'd be like, "Fuck, I'm not using that old form."
Yeah, but you know, like
you can avoid it.
even looking at Sammy Atkins, one of his reels where he taped all the joins for the foil back stuff. I think that in itself is a much better
Durability wins.
Yeah.
Like that's ultimately all I care about is durable buildings.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. Like screw sustainability. There's no point. I can build you the most sustainable house in the world, but if it doesn't last 10 years, is it really sustainable? So for
sustainable,
me,
yeah.
I'd rather build durable.
Yeah, yeah. Or is that maybe the way to make passive house a bit more marketable to everyone, like durability?
So again-
like I can, because honestly, I fucking don't drink the Kool-Aid. You guys know that about me, right?
But that's fine. But the thing is, I don't think, and sorry, Australian Passive House Association, I actually don't think the solution is that every house should be a passive house.
part of.
What I do think is I think that every school and every daycare should be, or close to, because we're talking about...
Yeah, but this shit's already fucking expensive, like government spending.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
and, you know.
but
You're gonna
but they're going to spend the money anyway, and we're talking about children's education. And you know, if your kids are anything like my kids, at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, when they've been sitting in the same classroom for 6 hours of the day, and the carbon monoxide levels are going through the roof, how the fuck are they meant to concentrate in there when it's 4 degrees outside? There's condensation dripping down the window. Where would you prefer your kid to be? In that classroom, or a beautifully ventilated, healthy classroom with good oxygen levels?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you. The whole education thing and like my kids and all that stuff, I really don't feel like the education system is really hitting anything for me. And I
agree.
I don't know that I'd want my kids in that environment either.
It's the
Like
only
I
industry
think,
that hasn't
and
been
the reason why I
challenged.
say that is I don't want my kids to be not exposed to the weather and to the elements. And if anything, I kind of want my kids to be outside more.
Yeah, but
in the
that's
fucking cold
not
weather
what
and-
I'm talking about.
yeah.
though. That's
You
not
know.
what
Because
I'm
you made the
I'm-
comment
I'm-
about you're
I'm
going to
just-
spend it. It's more expensive. We've already got a spending problem, which we do in Victoria. So let's be mindful of that.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
kids in a classroom who, you know, let's face it, kids have got to go to school. If they're in primary school, they've got to go to school.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, why not put them in an environment that's healthy for them and where they can concentrate?
Yeah.
And the comment on spending, like we've got a massive spending problem in Victoria. Like our government in Victoria is fucking cooked right now. But it's about spending money wisely and redistributing the correct areas. So we can cut on things and then spend in the right areas. And you can save money. Again, I go back to the comment on the healthcare system. What if we can decrease the risk on the healthcare system by building better indoor air quality homes? And then all of a sudden, we've completely halved the asthma we spend. Was it $1 billion on asthma per year? Half that. And all of a sudden, you've got $500,000 that we can now either save or put to something else.
Yeah, look.
Or go and waste on a new freeway or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hearing what you guys are saying. Like, again, I'll just be honest. I
No,
hear
it's
what
fine.
you guys are saying, but it's fucking such a gap to bridge. I think, like,
Do you think, though?
yeah, fuck
you
yeah.
think it's
Like,
a-
What parts of the gap to bridge?
like, I'm talking about, look at the kind of dog shit houses that are still getting built out on sites. Like, I don't know what's going on with my algorithm at the moment, but my fucking socials are getting flooded with shit fucking builds.
So
and
is that
shit
our problem
tradesmen.
or that's their problem? Because that's
I'm just saying, like, you've got this
yeah.
down here, and then you guys are like all the way at the other end of the spectrum. Like, I'm talking about, like, did you guys see that slab that got poured?
Yeah.
I still can't work that out. I'm still
dude.
trying to work my way.
How did that get passed? Like, that is...
As soon as you put concrete on that, that plastic was going to tear.
I
the
started
steel,
second.
the steel's probably this...
That's fucking like those legs and everything. I'm like, these are not fucking. Surely there's no engineering document that looks like what you fucking served up.
I don't know, and people probably have seen it because it's
Fucking
spinning
everywhere.
around. There would have been 200 cubes of concrete in there.
I started second guessing my.
And then a bloke hanging out in a fucking tree branch.
Yeah,
I'm like,
what?
fuck me, man. Like,
Yeah.
Do you know
I
what I'm
don't
talking
care
about?
where you're from.
Yeah, no,
it's just
no,
more. It's just
so I went
more
through and watched all those videos.
fucking circus.
I actually started second guessing my building knowledge, being like,
Am I doing something wrong here?
yeah, am I doing like? Are you actually? I was like, oh, can you do that? And I was like,
I'm more concerned about the pipes. Like, no,
the risers
like, the
and shit.
risers,
Like,
yeah.
fucking
So-
storming. Did you see the sewer was like running down?
God.
so let's work on it because that is what people see as building. That's what they see as the standard of construction, and then they compare it to us.
Yeah,
So
hang
like-
on, wait.
Hold on,
That house was in North Bourne
I-
or something. That's a million plus
Mate,
dollar house.
But it doesn't matter. Just like there are crappy cars, there's also awesome cars. And so there's a scale on anything. You can go buy an awesome designer bag, you can go buy a shitty bag. There's a scale on everything and everything we do in society. You can go buy amazing pasta, that's $20 a packet of pasta, you can go buy the dollar packet. The same as housing. You can buy something that's extremely awesome, or you can just get the fucking bottom end of things.
I've got a question for you. Do you, when you see us on social media, do you think, okay, let's talk about me on social media. Do you think that the information that I'm sharing is trying to convince you to build a passive house?
Do I think? No.
Yeah, because it's not my goal.
No,
Like,
I don't think it is. I don't get that impression.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like, but I never feel like you guys are.
Slamming it down.
You don't come across as guys that are selling it. You come across as guys that are educating,
Yeah.
right?
I'm glad to hear that, because my goal is go, hey, this is how I choose to run my business.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make you do it. I'm not trying to make
Yeah.
the person down the street do it. I'm saying, hey, this is what I'm doing and I'm sharing my journey.
But I guess what I see sometimes, sorry to cut you off,
That's right.
but I see a rocket scientist talking to a fucking mechanic, and it's like, man, we might both use fucking bolts, but you're doing very different things with yours, and your bolts are made out of very different materials than mine are, right? Like, I'm going to Bunnings and getting some Gal Coach bolts, and you're fucking got some high tensile fucking.
I know. I'm a Bunnings gal coach.
No, but do you know what I'm saying?
again, that's like the housing system.
It just feels
Yeah.
like, and this is kind of my bone to pick with you guys,
Yeah.
is what you do is so fucking disconnected from the bottom end, and then even for what I do, I feel like what I do is disconnected from the bottom end.
Yeah.
So for what I'm trying to do, I'm like, I agree, want to lift the standard,
Mm-hmm.
right? But guys like me don't really educate the guys at the bottom end. Instead, I get fucking just shitted off.
So the biggest problem is education, and that's where it starts. Because and the thing that I hate is one.
I think it's regulation.
Here's a good conversation. Do you think that we should have licenses for carpenters?
Fucking oath.
Okay, cool. We're on the same page. So then you should have upskilling, so you continue to upskill and learn. So
Yeah.
I think, and I know also
As in do it like what
professional
doctors do.
development. Yeah. So like a new 1684 comes in. Hey, you've got to go do a 4-hour course on it. Does that just not make sense?
I think so.
So then you also have like one other trades license, and I think the moment you can start to do that, then I can go, hey Joel, you got your license. You want to keep operating? If you don't keep doing the right thing, we'll take it off you.
Yeah.
And then that's how you have to lift the bottom.
But then it's going to add fucking cost.
But also you're going to decrease. You should also decrease cost, because you're going to actually have people being taught the right thing. You're going to have more. You're going to have
Less
service.
callbacks.
You're going to decrease supply of carpenters, though.
But who cares?
Fucking the economy will care.
But
people that
do
don't
they?
have houses, like we've got a supply crisis of houses.
Do we actually? Do you know anyone that's not in a house? This is a whole conversation. Like we keep getting told we're in a cost of living crisis. We are, but when it comes to housing crisis, are we just trying to support the immigration that comes in per
Look,
year?
you're honestly probably going over my head.
I know.
I'm not going to argue something.
I'm being devil's advocate
we
here.
probably don't know enough about the actual stats.
But I'm being
around that stuff.
I'm being devil's advocate here. But like, so we've got to go back a step to go forward. We keep trying to, like, as introduce 50-year-old carpenters we're going to shortcut the apprenticeship to 3 years now. They're just That's just fucking ridiculous. How about we go backwards, start training everyone properly, spend the time. So yes, you might halve the amount of carpenters, but in 40 years, we now have a trade that is super proud of what they do.
Oh, yeah. It kind of comes back to like what we were talking about before about like getting an 18-year-old apprentice and whether you'd actually want that or not. And that's why I'm like, yeah, because I want someone that could actually maybe get passionate about it when they're young and then have a longer career to actually serve the industry for a longer period of time. Not a fucking 50-year-old apprentice. I've got nothing against 50-year-old people that want to start an apprenticeship. I'm just saying that's not the solution to a skills shortage.
I agree.
But the thing is, there's no skill, there's no answer, and there will never be. It's been the same conversation forever, and we keep having it because that's what clickbait and media sells. It's like housing crisis, that sells, that gets people interested. That's what gets people complaining. So ultimately, what we've got to do is, if you want to go forward, you're always going to have to go back. You're going to have to stop and reassess.
Yeah, but we can't afford to go back.
We can.
Not at the moment. We're
Why?
fucking broke as a state.
Exactly. So you've got to stop.
Yeah.
So to get more money back in the account, you got to stop. When you can't, like, you don't go buy the Ferrari because you can't afford it. You just said you can't build the house because you can afford it. Same principles. If we don't, we've got to slow down to go ahead.
But I think this is where I look at it differently. And I've got real world experience of having run a business that was completely hemorrhaging money.
Yeah.
The only way I could actually rescue the business was to change what I was doing. But the number one thing was to cut costs.
I 100% agree.
But everything that you've suggested will fucking increase costs in the short term. In the short term. Long term, sure.
So have a look
drive
at
it
China
down.
right now. They're arguably a global power because they went the 40-year approach.
Yeah, but you can't compare us to China.
We've
We've got less population than
No,
one
no,
of
no.
their
But no,
cities.
you can use the longevity and forward thinking rather than thinking for a 4-year political term.
We won't get there though, man. We won't get past the next fucking few years. Is my point.
But I think we're actually agreeing on where we're trying to. Maybe I'm just not communicating it correctly. I agree. We need to stop spending. So let's start there. Yes, how it will drive the price up.
I don't think we should need to stop spending. If we stop spending, we won't get the economy will collapse on itself.
I think we're going.
I think the government needs to stop
No,
spending.
okay.
No. So yes, this is where I think we're talking about politics right now.
Okay.
That's what we're talking politics. Yes, this is
Yeah,
where
I don't want to touch the
I'll
subject
fucking
either, to
talk
be
about
honest.
it.
Yeah.
But it's like a business. If you can't afford something, you don't go invest in it.
I
Buy
think
it.
getting back to what the original question, if I fucking remember what it was, I think that what Matt and I are doing on social media and the information that we're projecting, the education that we're projecting, I think is good for the industry. I think what you're doing with Joel from Heidi Build and you actually showing passion about your business and being a trade is helping the industry. I think what Hoppo's doing and how passionate he is and motivating people is great for the industry. Collectively,
We need passionate people.
We're all passionate people, but we're all lifting a person over here who arguably is a little bit lower than what we are, and we're bringing them up.
Yeah.
So collectively, we're bringing up. We're doing different things.
And if
Well,
you're gonna,
yeah.
if you're going to do something, just do it right. That's my thinking of it.
So-
So if you're going to go be a carpenter, just go fucking do it right.
But okay,
Yeah.
and also,
So, yeah, go on.
I'm also sorry I'm sitting here trying to find a good response to this, but I'm also just trying to ignore the noise. Like I have a pretty good vision of what I want to try and do with my life, and whether that's with the podcast, whether that's with Sustainable Builders Alliance or with Sanctum Homes. Like I am really just trying to ignore all the other shit that's
All the bullshit.
around me, and just focus on doing that really well.
Well, I think, that's what I've been doing, and even with the social media stuff, I kind of ignore all the people that tell you should do this and you should do that, and the fucking business coaches and the guys that say, scale your fucking
What's
trade
your
business.
thoughts? What's your thoughts on business coaches?
I don't use them.
Why? Have you ever had one?
No,
Why?
because I fucking don't want one. I don't want to fucking piss them all off.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
feel
piss
like
them
they're the
off.
worst people to piss off. Like I feel like they're all going to come for me. If you fucking need a business coach, go for it. But I fucking don't want to be told what to do. And I do a lot of things that I do. I work it out backwards. I go in ass first to situations, and that's just how I fucking do things.
So I said,
but I've worked it out, and I don't want someone to tell me you need to fucking do this and scale your business to fucking 8 figures, and then you can get out of the business. I don't want to get out of the business. I like my business. I like my team.
So I said we're probably
I'll
going.
be bored.
You know how I said we're probably going to agree on a lot of surprising. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of coaches will throw stuff down your throat to keep them dangling the carrot.
Yeah. And that's why I don't, people have said, hey,
Not
do
all
you
of
do mentoring? Do you do coaching? Or are you going to do... No, I'm not, because then I'll have to change what I do.
Mentoring, I think, is different to coaching. They're two different things, though. Coaching is mentoring is like me calling, hey, what do you do here? I'm a bit, you've had this problem. That's mentoring.
Yeah, sure.
I think you'd actually
we
be
all
very
do
good.
that anyway.
Yeah, but
I feel like mentoring is like this sort of top-down kind of thing, whereas
We're all just peers.
I might be looking up at someone who's helping me, and then I'm looking down, helping that person there. Like that for me is like that sort of mentor.
Yeah, like you wanting to help the kid and get it taken on an apprentice, and then that's mentoring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and that's what it should
That's
be.
not coaching,
That's
that's
what a lot
mentoring,
of carpenters think it is cheap labour, which it isn't.
Yeah. What else have you got in that? We haven't even got to the top first page.
Mate, we've gone through a couple, but
have
there's
we?
a lot. But I guess I'm in insurance and make safes, right? Like we're on the total opposite ends of the spectrum here of the thing. You said you don't work weekends. It's like 7 to 5 or 8 to 5 or
I
whatever.
just I'll do 12 hours a day, but weekends is my time, family time.
We're 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
You guys do beautiful stuff. You've got architects and all this stuff, and I've been there, not done passive house, but close to it. And now we walk into water damage, fire. We're going in there after firefighters. We're doing make safes, mold, just the worst work.
Dude, yeah.
But a lot of shit happens because of a poor building.
Yeah.
Like a bad building to start with, or bad wiring, or, you know. So I guess we're kind of looking at the same problem from opposite ends, you know. I'm just, and then when we rectify and we're doing something through insurance, you have to bring it up to code. You can't now deliver something that doesn't comply. So we're sort of trying to lift things in that way, but I don't know. I think we're we are. It's the same problem. I think we're in agreement.
Yeah,
we just
yeah,
have
we actually are,
with totally different angles.
Yeah.
And one of my concerns is what you guys are doing is how much is it helping when these guys down here are just so fucking bad, and they're almost getting worse.
And no one wants to talk about the cost because they're too scared of not selling a client, saying that they're too scared to say that it's more expensive and lose the client. That's the reality. But I think the reality is passive house is more expensive, and that's okay because it's a premium product.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
Yeah,
do you
well,
know
look,
what- and
even
do
in
you
what
know
I do,
that-
I'm a premium service.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, at the end
Comes
of the
across.
day, you're not holding a gun to someone's head and telling them to spend $2 million to build a house.
Yeah.
It's their choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they can afford it, that's up to them.
And if that's what they want, like really, we're just satisfying the market.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing.
Ex-
I charge more than some carpenters out there, but when my phone rings, I answer it.
Yeah.
And then when I say I'm going to be somewhere,
Even in the middle
I'm
of a
there.
podcast.
Yeah, I did do that once. In my defence, the camera stopped working anyway. So. All right, I've got some technical stuff that I wanted to ask you guys,
Yeah.
but technical I feel like is relatable to the average punter, which is
Yeah,
what I'm
we'll dumb
sort
it
of,
down.
want to do
Yeah.
here. Yeah, I'm looking at you here. What would you fix in the average Australian home? Like, what's the first thing you'd fix in the average Australian home?
In the co-built home.
All right, well, let me put it this way. If I gave you a standard 1990s brick veneer home in Narre Warren North with blow-in ceiling insulation, no wall insulation, and single glazed windows with no seals, this is self-serving because that's my fucking house.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you'd do?
Draft proof it. Really simple. Go
Yeah,
to Bunnings.
I would draft proof it and maybe just chuck in an air quality, like a purifier, or let's just test it to see what your indoor air quality is.
That's a good point, actually. You'd probably want to see like what is the baseline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
like
test
how
it.
can people improve their house?
Yeah,
Like my
what's-
house is horrible at the moment.
Yeah,
Mate.
so
Cold.
So bad.
Yeah. So there's a magnitude of there's an order of things you can do. Like right down at the lower end, there's just draft proofing.
Yeah.
Simple draft proofing.
draft. It's just like, let's just give yourself 20 grand. Is that probably a fair amount?
You could probably even go to
10.
Bunnings and get some caulking guns and
yeah.
a couple of door stops
So
and
do
spend
that.
$100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do that. I would then also put some ceiling insulation, some
Yeah.
thick ceiling insulation,
Suck,
R6.
suck that stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a quote for 10 grand to remove all the blow-in and
Really?
put ceiling bats in.
Oh, and including okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I'd also then go and make sure all your ventilation is ducted outside externally.
Yeah.
Automatically.
So range hoods.
Range
your-
hood.
your
Yeah, because it didn't used to be. It
ensuites.
all used to be into the
so
ceiling
I'd
space.
start
right?
with that, and if you draft,
What's the benefit for people that don't understand? Like, what's the benefit of having that go into
So-
the
so-
atmosphere and
so
not into the?
we-
if you've got a big truss roof,
It's still going to get mouldy in there.
Yeah, so we have this thing called we breathe, we shower, we cook, and moisture. We want to just get that moisture, and we want to get that air outside. Yes, we're not because it's not airtight. We're not bringing the cleanest of air, but at least we're removing any potential
the bad stuff.
any moisture within the air that could cause a mold and condensation issue.
Yep. So ventilation is another simple thing. Timed
Fans.
fans.
That should be in the
your
code.
areas. Timed fans and then duct them out the eave.
So
they run for longer after you
minutes.
switch
So
it off.
Yep.
every single the code should be that every bathroom that has a ducted outside mechanical ventilation fan that we just do extraction fan should be on a 30-minute on when you press the switch should then
just
Because
goes
what,
bang 30
what do you
minutes.
do
Every time.
as soon as you turn the lights out in your bathroom? What else do you turn off?
Turn the fan off.
and the kid's not turning on so that should be the if I
I'm
could-
shocking. I don't turn on.
Yeah,
It
then-
turns my bathroom into a steam room.
Yeah.
yeah, so I think that's the one code that should
Like
be
a
changed.
finish
That's the
bathroom.
biggest code change we could possibly make in the house in
Okay.
NCC.
All right. Well, I'm actually going to maybe think about that.
And they're
and look
all
into it.
really cheap ones. And if you can then afford to change windows, yes, but
So what's the cheapest upgrade to someone's house? Like, you know,
What
we're talking
what do we
about
call
draft
cheap? What do we
proofing.
call cheap though? Like, well, give us.
Oh, well,
number.
just
yeah, give me a budget.
I don't know if there's a number on it, like let's say, but like what's something that I could do aside from the obvious of order some new windows for my brothers? Because
Yeah.
like,
Windows is a
for
big
example, all right, I'll tell you guys something. our front room flooded, which is slightly disconnected from the house.
Yeah.
Because it used to be a carport, and then the previous owners enclosed it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It flooded. When it flooded, we had to strip everything out. There was carpeted and stuff.
Yeah.
So I polished the concrete that was there. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not recarpeting it
Yeah.
in case it fucking floods again. And pulled all the plaster out. I left the ceiling plaster in, but I insulated the walls,
Yeah.
and I just put like VJ lining board, right?
It's fine.
Sweet.
The room is noticeably warm, and because of the exposed slab and it gets sunlight from the big sliding door that's there, the room is always noticeably warmer than the rest of the house. And it's still got blow-in insulation
So there's
and a single glazed aluminium sliding door.
So
So-
I'd blow in your walls if you had the ability. It might cost you $8,000 to blow in insulation into your walls, little holes in the plaster or the brick, and it'll just blow into the cavity and fill.
So as in use blow-in insulation.
Yeah. They'll use a
cellulose.
completely fine. Yeah, they'll literally come around in.
So I can do that to
Enviroflex?
my
Yep.
existing house.
We just did it.
They'll cut little holes in each sort of stud bay, and you just go through and patch it up. In the end, they just fill it up.
Yeah, right.
Super
and you
cheap.
can thermal image it and see whether they've missed anything.
We just did that on the little renovation we did. Cost us $4,000 for all the external walls.
Fuck off.
Yeah, it's not that
Is that
expensive.
it?
Yeah, but look, it was a small house. But you do the windows, you do that, but then
Because there's all these 90s houses, which I didn't even realise, even as a builder, I thought I should have known this. They didn't have to have fucking wall insulation.
No, it's only to 1990s.
No.
So until the star come in. But I would look at the issues is once you start to introduce one or two things, you start to have a
Yeah, you change the physics of the building.
Yeah,
so,
so-
that's when you really need to start thinking about ventilation and air quality.
I would say a really good if you ability to change your windows over. Once you do your windows inside externally,
Yeah.
and then you have to make sure that you have a ducted system going for your fans to extract air.
Yeah.
You'll naturally become more airtight, and then a few air purifiers and just monitor the indoor air quality. You just might have to open a window here and there.
You know those building wraps, you've got the external one and the internal
Yeah.
one. If I don't have an external one, or if it's like a shit old foil one that's not taped, is it worth putting an internal one?
Oh, it's a good question. So we've ripped them out. So
Do you
How-
know
how
what?
nerdy can I
do you know
get
what?
here?
It depends.
Yeah, I genuinely want to know because,
it depends.
there's
because
rooms that I'm going to be stripping out
So
completely.
remove the foil. So remove the insulation. That's remove the foil face. That's the first thing. That's the
'cause
first
that's
thing.
a vapor blocker.
Yeah. So
and then get a hydrophobic or
blow in cellulose or polyester bat.
or polyester back because it can handle.
Well, I
getting a little
can't.
bit
I've got
wet.
a brick veneer.
So there's two parts here. So when you do the polyester, it's in the stub bay. It doesn't touch the brick veneer. That's
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Yep.
So the second thing is we've got to worry about is pressure driven moisture from the
Bricks.
from the bricks. So if you can put a sealant on the bricks or something to prevent that moisture being pushed through, you're going to stop water. So we're not talking about
making them basically not porous.
Yeah, we're not talking sustainability here. This is, I think, where we get not misjudged or confused. Is we're actually just talking about durability and health and how the house actually function.
Yeah.
So I would, if I was in your case, I'd actually just go get cellulose insulation because I think it has a lower perm rate and it will not. From my
I
understanding,
think the long and the
leak
short
moisture.
of it, I would engage someone like Cameron Munro to do a report on your building, and that's where that's what I'd do.
Maybe-
It's going
maybe
to
this
cost you
ma-
$2,500, and he would give you a baseline understanding of where your home or how your home's performing, and then he would do a couple of different studies on if you did X, Y, and Z.
All right.
Here's the impact.
Let's one up it. How about me, you, and Cam do a podcast, and when we say how would you attack this home with a
Yeah, great.
$30,000 budget?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not a bad. That's not a bad idea.
That's a good idea.
We did. So there's also we've just done a retrofit playbook live event for Sustainable Builds Alliance, which is available to buy.
Yeah,
so
right.
we recorded the whole thing. I think it's like $10 or $20.
Yeah. Okay.
And there is
Holy shit! I might actually buy something that you guys are doing.
Sarah from Cooey
He's going to be
Architecture.
driving around in a Tesla soon. He's going to be all environmental.
But the thing is, what you're talking about now is so ironically, you want to make your home perform better.
Yeah, because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I guess what I'm saying is, like, you don't have to be a fucking tree hugging hippie to want to
Yeah.
be comfortable and healthy in your home.
Yeah, like I mean, I used to do the double glazed windows, triple glazed, all that stuff. So I sort of get it, but I was never
Do
really.
you know what? I am not going to judge you or think anything less of you if you've still got two V8s sitting in your driveway. There's a 200 series.
As long as
and
you get
there's
that
a
toilet
Valiant-
sensor in the bathroom,
What's the other-
HK
HK,
Prem,
yeah,
yeah.
Prem, yeah.
So there's a few. There's
It's
also
not going to change anything with your masculinity if you do all this sort of stuff.
so there's a few things when and this is a really important thing is when we talk about comfort. Comfort is not running the heater all day and all night. That's just not
No,
comfortable.
we fucking argue about it all the time as well. Lauren's either too hot and I'm fucking cold, or
Yeah.
So I'm living in a passive house. I woke up this morning. It's 8 degrees outside, 21 inside. Haven't turned anything on. The comfort that I really now struggle to talk about that comfort because it's so different. Like it's just like living in a house. It works.
Mate, the last house I was in was 7-something star rated.
Yeah.
It was almost 8 star. It was 120 mil stud walls, and I insulated it well. I insulated all the internal walls as well.
Yeah.
And it was...
It makes a difference.
It was 60 squares as well. It was a huge house with a double height
Where was
ceiling
that?
in the back
Where
in
was that?
Pascal South.
Yeah. Wow. Why'd
And,
you sell that?
Hey?
Why'd you sell that?
We wanted land. Like,
Yeah,
we wanted
okay.
a bigger...
So I'm about to do a few jobs in Pascal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
But-
Like going from that then to this, I didn't realise the contrast it would be. Like
Also, in that area, you've got flight paths. So we talk about comfort. We've got
Sound, yeah.
vibrations, odors, air quality. So when we talk, everyone thinks comfort is just thermal. There are multiple things. So comfort for you might not be thermal. You might be okay for running the heater all day and night, but you're under a flight path, and sound is a huge thing.
I mean, did I just want to sort of land back on what I was getting at before? It sounds like we all want the same thing.
Yeah.
Like with our home, we want the same thing. We just happen to put a label on it.
Well, yeah, I think. Well, to be honest, for me and I think for a lot of guys, it just seems like unattainable or like kind of over there in comparison to what we do. Whereas what we've been discussing just in this last part, I'm going, yeah, all right, maybe I need to put some effort into this, and this is going to make my life a bit better. And
It's like a cake.
maybe the air quality for my kids, and
I think
I'm starting to think about the air quality of my kids.
It's just like the thing is, what
I'm
passive...
not drinking the fucking Kool-Aid.
What
but-
passive,
I sipped it.
what Passive House did was literally just take good building practice and put a badge on it.
It didn't invent it.
Like
Physics is physics.
I think
is
the big
physics.
thing is it just seems so nerdy. Like it's so sciencey.
So no, it's
Yeah.
passionate. People are passionate, and people are willing to share information, and they care about the work.
Yeah, but
they're
why
doing.
can't like cooler people be more passionate? You guys are cooler people, I think, compared to what it used to be.
Like a cool people. Okay.
You
No,
know?
but no,
no,
you're
but like
you're
as in
saying I'm cool.
Yeah, you guys are pretty cool.
The
Matt, I thought Matt was cool after he started bagging me a bit, like giving me shit.
I have started
Just ripping
trolling
me.
you
I was
slightly
like,
here
all
and
right,
there.
I like this guy now.
What other questions you got?
I thought you were cool when you were, when I knew you had your own excavator. I was like, yeah, that's cool.
a
for me.
investment worthwhile.
Um,
Let's do a couple more. I'm getting hungry.
Biggest waste of money biggest waste of money that people think is sustainable.
Cars.
My excavator.
No, well, no one thinks an excavator is sustainable.
Cars.
Like as in electric cars.
No, just cars in general. But like for
Biggest
people, like especially with
waste.
young, you start a business. I buy a top car and blah. That's where what
Oh,
I'm getting
we'll
at.
come to that. What's one thing every chippy should understand about moisture?
You need to stop it from getting in your frame. And it's going to ruin your building.
Moisture-
So like basically building wraps. Building wraps are huge.
I would say as long as it can dry out. Wetting is okay as long as drying exceeds wetting.
I hear that, but let's just
Yeah, no, I'm
let's
not
just
gonna
not
overcomplicate
confuse it and just
Yeah.
fucking wrap your building well.
Yeah.
Just wrap your building
Don't
up.
overcomplicate it. Just
Don't
like
just-
And we
Salt
use
and
Pro
water.
Climate products. They are a sponsor, but like they have so many. And I'm not saying this because they are a sponsor. They have so many educational free resources.
Yeah.
If you're in Victoria, Performance Membranes now they do a training course. It's free to come learn how to use it. It's a care thing. If you're going to care about putting the architrave on or routing out the door, there's no difference with a membrane and caring how you install it.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to ask one more serious question, then we got this other funny little thing at the end. But like, it's not as simple as this. Like the emotional cost of caring this much and actually running your business, your building business, based on values rather than profitability.
You can still be
Because-
we're still profitable.
No, but you
Yeah,
know what
do
I
you know,
mean.
I'm-
You said it already before.
I battle with this, and I go to bed at night time now, knowing that even though I am not making as much money as I probably could, or even that I care about it a little bit too much, it means more to me than the money in the bank, knowing that I've done it right.
Yeah, okay.
Because as I said before, I'm dealing with projects that I've done in the past, which weren't up to the standard that we're doing now, and
you take a less slight cut, let's just say, but the long term is probably going to be beneficial because your risk is completely de-risk. So in 9 years, you might get a tap on the shoulder, like your house is fucked, all the roof needs to come off because it's all mouldy and complete water damage. We don't have that risk.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's completely. We don't have it. It's very.
It's lower. The risk is
So
lower.
so we get to sleep at night. So we don't get that number and financial we talk was like mental health side of things. Like we have a pretty good work-life balance lifestyle. Some people might not think that we do, but reality is we've got a great balance. So how can you factor in those other things when we say what's the risk? And from a company perspective, look, I think you can still make it money. We see other builders like it seems like Kyle down in Tassie is making it work. You see that Jackson
Luke Davies,
Luke, they're making it like it's profitable. It can work. It's just
Fucking hard.
anything's hard. If it was easy, if it was if it was easy, everyone would be fucking doing it.
No, I don't think what I do is hard, man.
it's
to make
just-
money.
yeah.
Like I focus on profit.
Yeah.
I mean, all I need to do to make my business profitable is run it efficiently and do it correctly.
So what's the difference with us then? We can still do the same thing.
Because I make more profit than I did as a builder.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm
And
saying
I'm de-risked.
as a builder, yes.
Yeah. Because I'm not functioning as the principal contractor anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I just remember what it felt like for me trying to do the right thing, running a building company, trying to build better houses and reaching, and the fucking toll it took on me.
You're doing
I couldn't
very
handle
high.
it.
You're doing very high in architecturals, and that is where I think the problem is. And you've spoken about this before. I think there's a huge difference in the level of. I see it visibly from my team on site. The ABIC contract versus a non-ABIC contract. The team when it's our contract, the client relationships are better. The mood on site is a lot better. There's less eggshells to walk on, and there's just a more positive input attitude from everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that, and I've done ABIC contracts that'll work perfectly and fine. But I think that is a big thing when we talk about the type of builds because you just weren't doing the average build either.
No, there was a lot of bespoke
Exactly.
fabrication, carpentry, all kinds
So
of
that comes at a cost too.
And how do you price that? You're
Badly.
guessing. You're like,
And we
badly.
I don't do those
I
jobs.
price them all poorly.
Yeah, I don't do those jobs because they're just. I look at them and go, why? They're not fucking
It's too
profitable.
fucking hard, man.
yeah. All right, quick fire. Hit me.
All right, rapid fire. Let's go.
Rapid fire.
Mindful or mindless? So I'm going to say a thing, and then you're going to decide. We've got 2 control questions to start with, so to get an idea. Blower door test.
Mindful.
Mindful.
All right. Buying another ute.
Mindless.
All right. Now
It
the
all
third
depend-
question.
It depends.
Yeah,
Buying
that's
a
like
machine or a tool for a job.
depends on the situation.
I'm
I'm gonna go.
No, you
mindless.
got to pick one.
I'm gonna go
Nah.
mindless.
Mindless.
I'm going to say mindful.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
You will always justify it. You never would.
No,
Yeah.
because I just outsource it.
Yeah. This is my guy over here.
Yeah,
I'll buy the tools.
Yeah.
Posting a reel instead of doing an invoice. Come on, because you guys are big on socials.
Mindless.
Mindful because it could bring in the next client.
Because my
There you
reels,
go.
my reels happen outside of work hours. So
Yeah, I spend only 3 hours on my socials a week.
invoicing sort of done.
Okay.
And yeah,
normal
invoicing
hours.
invoicing is easy.
We don't. I probably don't send as many invoices as what you do.
Yeah.
No, we do a lot of invoices.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
do
yeah.
much
Yeah.
invoicing.
No, you guys
With
are
progress
progress once
payments.
every fucking
Progress payment,
8
yeah.
weeks or something.
Send
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
off, it's
which
done.
is shit.
I don't miss that.
Fuck, I'm in that.
All
moment,
right,
Yep.
don't get too technical on this, Carland. Triple glazing.
It depends.
Mindless.
No.
Mindless?
I'm
Yep.
saying
Yep.
mindful 100%.
I think I'm with you on
mindful.
mindless.
Like living
I
in
don't
one
think
now.
it's required. I think double glazing, it's just diminishing returns.
the sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
well, even with sound, it's
Oh,
better to have. Now I can be nerdy.
Yeah.
It's better to have 2 differing layers of glass,
Yes.
differing thicknesses, layers of glass, than to have triple
Yeah,
glazing.
yes, I understand that, but there's all yes.
I can be a nerd sometimes.
Yeah.
Arguing in Instagram comments.
Mindless.
Mindful.
Could have predicted that. Knocking off early for beers.
Mindful.
Well, you don't drink, but what for the boys and
Mindful.
Mindful, definitely.
mindful.
Yeah.
I think there's a bit of a stereotype around that,
Yeah.
but it's actually good.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
But
the-
just
the-
knocking
not
off-
every day.
knocking off early, like whether you
Yeah.
put a beer or whether you put a
Negroni.
coffee on or whatever,
Yeah.
pub meal, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Working Saturday because you misquoted a job.
Mindless.
Well, I don't. I couldn't
Sometimes
tell you
you
the
have
last.
to.
I couldn't
No.
tell you the last time I worked a Saturday on a
Yeah.
job.
You should be able to get your shit done.
Saturdays
on a weekday.
at my joint.
Yeah.
Building your own house.
Mindful.
Mindful.
All right. Starting a podcast.
Mindful.
letting me host your podcast.
Mindful.
Hey, all right. I thought
definitely.
you were going to say mindless.
No.
All right, well, boys, unfortunately, we did accidentally learn something, so I apologise to the listeners. This has been the Mindless Builder, same podcast, less science, more damage. Thanks for letting me hijack.
Thanks, John.
We do have to finish with one segment. Mindful Moment, MEGT, Australia's leading apprenticeship experts.
I can go here.
Yeah, go.
Because
The whole episode.
yeah, no, I just think the whole episode, but also and this is what I find really interesting about you, Joel, as a carpenter or as an apprentice and then a carpenter, like the transition is to then the holy grail is to become a builder. You've got there and realised, oh shit, I don't like it up here, and I think my messaging now is that is absolutely okay.
Yeah.
Because I look at you now, and I actually remember distinctly chatting with your brother, probably just after COVID, that we were just waxing lyrical about how fucking shit the industry was.
Yeah.
And he was saying, this is before I met you, and Andre's like, Joel's just decided to get out of it. He's doing insurance stuff now. He's fucking jacked of it.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to that going, fuck, I wonder if I could do that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that you are the epitome of it being okay to take a step back and then enjoy life a bit more.
Yeah, I think you just got to know like where you sit, you know, and what works for you, right?
Yeah.
Just because you see big businesses doing these awesome projects on Instagram doesn't mean it's always fun or profitable.
Man, it's okay to do $3 million a year. It's okay to do $1 million. It's okay to do like 600 grand.
Yeah.
Like wherever you're comfortable and what works for you, just fucking.
It's okay to do 100K if it's just pure profit. Like
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you're working like 25 hours a week or something.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's okay just to trade Bitcoin as well.
Well, my wife would be better at that than me, but
I've never done it before. I just wanted to sound smart.
Depends on the capital gains rules.
don't start. This is mindless. This is going to go mindless.
I just knew that would get him going.
No.
He gets me like shooting fish in a barrel.
Turn it off. 'Cause I want to talk about it. Turn it off.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.